But yes, our first movie tonight is The A-Team.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun.
dun, dun, dun.
So I ended up seeing this in the theater back in the day.
Hmm?
As,
I did not. I got it. I watched it on DVD, but no. Yeah. See it here, Arthur.
like I was one of the only people who went to see it in the theaters because this thing was a bit of an underperformer. Uh, it is, of course, a movie adaptation of the beloved '80s TV show, The A-Team,
Yes.
about a group of 4 ex-military people who were sentenced to a crime they didn't commit, who then proceeded to go out and work as soldiers of fortune, there to help those in need.
Yes. And the original '80s series, the characters were all Vietnam veterans. In this, they are Iraq War veterans. And actually, the movie's got a little prologue where it shows how they all met. We first meet Colonel Hannibal Smith, who's played by Liam Neeson. They're taking out some. He's taking out a drug cartel guy with Lieutenant Face Peck. I think that's right. Was it Peck? Yeah. Who's played by Bradley Cooper. And then, of course, along the way, they meet B.A. Baracus, Bosco B.A. Baracus, who in the '80s series, he's played by Mr. T. But in this, he's played by an old MMA fighter named Quentin Rampage Jackson, who had a very, let's just say, very tumultuous career, from what I understand. But this was he was trying to be one of the many actors, people of his, from his background, trying to make it into acting. Some of them did okay, some of them not so much. And I would say he's definitely in the latter category. But if you're an eagle-eye observer, when they first introduce him, he's got tattoos on his hands, and one hand it says pity, and then the other one says fool. That was Mr. T's catchphrase. I pity the fool.
Which I don't know if he ever actually says that out loud.
He did in Rocky 3.
Well, I mean, if
Yeah.
in this movie, I mean,
No. He calls people fool though. Yeah, like well, I don't want to spoil too much of the movie, but yeah, he and then oh, hey Ninja, good to see you.
hey Ninja.
And then as they're making their escape, they have to they go to a hospital, and
You left out Face basically. So
Face,
basically everybody's role. Hannibal's the leader. He's the guy with the plan.
yeah.
Face is like the infiltration artist / BS artist.
Yes.
Um, the character formerly played by Mr. T, whose name is escaping me because I always just think of him as Mr. T.
BA.
BA. BA is the muscle slash driver.
Yeah.
But they need to get out of there, and so yes, they end up at a Mexican hospital where you have what was his name again?
Murdoch.
Murdoch, the crazy one,
Yeah.
who is also a insane pilot who can pull off physically impossible maneuvers with civilian aircraft.
Yeah. Yes, and he's played by I don't know how to pronounce his name. Charlton Copley, who was most people know him from District 9. He was the main guy in that movie. But yeah, he does this thing where he does like a barrel roll with the helicopter.
A civilian non-military helicopter that is not designed for barrel rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, even the bad guy's like, did you see him do that with the helicopter?
Which I think the opening sequence does a great job of setting the expectations for this movie, because like there are movies where they have a realistic-ish depiction of damage and injury and stakes and everything. These characters are cartoons when you get down to
Yes.
it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the original TV show was basically a live action cartoon.
Right, because like didn't they
Yeah.
do a lot of shooting without a lot of hitting?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It was actually one of my older brother's favorite shows when he was a kid. So that should tell you something right there. Uh, but yeah, and then so you have that whole sequence, and then we flash forward 8 years to the end of the Iraq War, and they've got a new mission that. And there are two people who one of them says, "Okay, I need your help with the mission," and it's a CIA agent named Lynch, who oddly enough, a lot of CIA agents are named Lynch.
Now that is something I've never heard of outside of this movie. Is this like an actual thing in real life, or is this just their shorthand for they never actually know the guy's name?
I think probably the latter because I've never really heard it either. I think it's just some like oh spies and spooks. You never know who they really are, and
Right, like whenever the Lynch guy introduces himself, it's like, oh, name's Lynch, huh? I knew
yeah
a guy named Lynch in Vietnam.
yeah and Hannibal's like I knew a Lynch during the Desert Storm.
Were you related?
Yeah.
Uh,
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 yeah.
so this first mission that we're really seeing after they've been established is also kind of sets the tone of things, where things are like semi-plausible but very cartoonish because basically the Shah of Iran had a old U.S. dollar printing press, and it fell to the Iraqis captured it during the Iran-Iraq War, and now Saddam, the remnants of Saddam's army or whatever are going to flood the market with counterfeit bills. And I'm thinking to myself, there's a lot of things wrong with that. Like I don't care how good of an ally you are, I'm open to being wrong, but I can't imagine any other country ever being given a U.S. dollar printing press.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even think we would do that for Great Britain. Um,
Yeah, like
uh,
that is such an unusual situation.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but it makes for a big flashy thing with a lot of big flashy action elements. Um,
yes,
and of course, it is made to look as though they had, they had no orders to do this because the guy who was ordering them conveniently died.
yes. Yeah, and of course the whole thing was set up by the company in the movie is called Black Forest. Um,
They didn't want to get sued.
yeah, what was the other company called?
Blackwater, I think.
Blackwater. Okay, yeah, I knew it was Black something. Yeah, Blackwater. They were a private security firm. They had a lot of people in Iraq during that war. The whole thing. I don't want to get into that. Uh, and of course, the other part of it too is Face's ex girlfriend, Captain Sosa, who's played by Jessica Biel, tells him, don't go on this mission. Don't do this. And but of course they do it as DB mentioned before, they do it anyway, but then they get framed to make it look like they did it because it all kind of goes wrong. And so that's how they end up court-martialed and then and thrown in prison. Then we flash forward 6 months, and Lynch visits Hannibal in prison and is like, "Oh, hey, we got a lead on the Black Forest guy, and he's working with this Saudi guy, and we need your help to get into complete the mission, but you're in prison, so I'll help everybody break out."
Yep. And so from there, the objectives are to stay alive, clear their names, get a pardon, and restore their honor.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I think that this is a fun enough story. There's a bit of there's a love story between Face and Jessica Biel's character that is like a little. They don't have a lot of chemistry, honestly.
No, they don't.
I feel like Bradley Cooper is doing his best to bring the chemistry, and Biel kind of isn't.
Mm. Yeah, she's more. She seems more annoyed by him than anything.
Right. Which that only works in anime because you can call them a tsundere and draw them with exaggerated blushing or whatever. But in live action, you kind of need to make it so that the female love interest seems to actually like the guy to an extent.
Yeah.
Like I think that the right amount of apparent disdain that you wear down over time for that type of adventure story is probably like Leia and Han over the
Mhm.
course of their interactions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyhow,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
the cast as a whole does a good job.
Yeah.
Do we have a comment?
Yeah. Ninja says in 2008, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men probably escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground.
Yep.
And then, today, still wanted by the government. They survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team. Da, 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 da. Okay, so you were saying?
Overall, if I'm looking at the cast, I think our lead four are pretty good at their jobs.
Yeah.
Outside, I have Murdoch is questionably funny at times, but I think that if I wasn't on guard for dumb Marvel style humor after the last decade or so,
Yeah.
he would have just seemed like a silly comic relief character.
Yeah. Although I did like the part where he had the blue paint and he's doing the Blue Man Group thing, and then he makes himself look like William Wallace.
Yeah.
If I was Rampage Jackson sitting there while he was doing that, I don't know how he didn't start cracking up when he was doing that.
For that matter, I also like the bit where they're grilling. It's like want to put some antifreeze on there? No, last time I got palsy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only temporary. They have good camaraderie, I will say, with the four of them. Sort of reminded me of the Top Gear guys. When they, the bond that they have together, and then when they're like one of them is like separate from the other one, they kind of like rib him while he's away. Yeah.
Yep. It's a very bro-y movie.
Yeah.
Which maybe that lowered its 4-quadrant appeal.
Yeah.
I think when this came out, that was also kind of towards the tail end of where people were maybe getting a little tired of every 70s and 80s TV show getting dredged up to be a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what else he had. Well, we had Mission Impossible.
Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch. He had Star Trek the year before. Yeah, I can kind of understand that. Yeah.
Now, I will say though, okay, so we've seen a lot of generic action movies in our time, of varying quality in both in and out of this podcast. I will say that it is a mark of at least an imaginative action movie that whenever I bring this movie up with anybody, it's like, so you know what the one scene that makes this movie great is, right? And everybody's reaction is, yeah, like when the tank falls out of the airplane, they have to use a cannon to fly.
Yeah.
Which, as far as ridiculous nonsense goes, like, is that totally implausible? Yes, they would be paced. They would have probably been paced even if their parachute hadn't gotten perforated.
Yeah.
On the other hand, that is such an awesome creative scene. The madmen who came up with the set pieces in this movie are showing so much more creativity than I've seen for a bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the end sequence is great, just from like a conceptual perspective. The characters okay, Murdoch is kind of the silly comic relief, so he doesn't really have a character arc, but
Yeah.
BA and Face definitely do, and I think it works out well.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame that this movie underperformed because they could have. I think they could have gotten one more movie out of this.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen like a proper like A-team story, like what they did in the TV show, helping somebody out.
Right, instead of the classic origin movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well, it's not like what we
Yeah.
had was bad or anything. It's just
No. It's just, yeah, I'm kind of with you there too. Yeah, and the other thing too, I think this movie came out right around the same time as The Expendables, which might have
okay,
hurt
yeah,
it a little bit.
yeah, they would be pursuing basically the same audience, and Expendables had way bigger star power behind it.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I definitely would recommend this movie if you're in for, if you like silly, off the wall action movies. Currently on Netflix. Yeah.
It's also just so refreshing because it's a remake made in the era before people making remakes actively hated whatever they were working on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It stays true to its roots. Yeah, which is always a plus.
I almost wonder if part of why this movie underperformed was that, like, all through the 2000s, so many A-Team references all over popular culture.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, I wonder if it might have done better if it had landed a couple of years earlier, just before like people were getting tired of the dead trope.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's hard to escape the theme song. I mean, anytime you have like somebody working on something really cool or whatever, they always play that theme song in the background.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh well, most everybody here went on to, if not, okay, Bradley Cooper went on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, and Liam he's done steady work.
Yep.
Yeah, but Rampage Jackson, yeah, he's neither seen or heard from again in a very long time,
Yeah.
and
Which is a pity because he actually had to do some acting for this one, and I thought he did a fine job with it.
yeah, and hopefully they'll actually get a District 9 sequel done so that the guy who played Murdoch can get some work. Yeah, Ninja says, I remember when it was viewed as a super generic action film at the time. Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, if it dropped today, it'd be like, wow, this isn't like the top half of movies this year.
Yeah.